You are tuned in to the Post Route. Here's your host, Earl Kitchings.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Post Route. I'm your host, Earl Kitchings, and we are again excited to bring another phenomenal guy to our show tonight. Tonight is going to be a little bit different, though. We're going to kind of take on an international flavor with our quarterback tonight. So just note that we're going to find out some things about what's going on for American football in other parts of this world. And I think once you hear what our guest has to say about that, it will let you know just how broad and how widespread football is becoming, American football. Because when you get international, when you say football, everybody talks soccer. Well, news alert. American football is gaining footholds in countries, in continents across the country, across the world, rather. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before I get to that, the NFL draft is over. The teams have made their selections. They have decided on who will be some of the undrafted UDFA. For those of you who don't know, UDFA, the undrafted free agents. So everything has been basically put to bed now for the NFL and the drafting and the things of that nature. So we're going to just give you a little snippet and congratulate, first and foremost, three quarterbacks who were taken in the first six picks of the first round. So congratulations to Caleb Williams. Congratulations to Jaden Daniels of LSU, Caleb Williams of USC, Southern Cal, and congratulations to Michael Penix Jr., University of Washington. First six picks of the NFL draft, those three gentlemen were selected. Daniels and Williams went 1-2. Penix got 6, drafted by the Falcons. Williams with the Chicago Bears. So that was how that kind of bared out. And then there were 6 other black quarterbacks taken later on. One guy, Spencer Rattler from South Carolina. Then there was a gentleman from Tennessee was drafted. And then, of course, it went from 150, from 1 through 6. And then after 6, not another black quarterback until they got to 150, then about 170, then 199. But here's the kicker. In the undrafted free agents, 21 total quarterbacks were on the board for the undrafted free agents. 21 quarterbacks on the board. 21. And of that, 4 of them were black, and 2 of them came from HBCUs. And the HBCU picks were Aeneas Dennis of Benedict College and Jeremy Musa of Florida A&M. The surprise to the entire draft, both from the regular draft and undrafted free agents, was the fact that I did not see, and maybe someone else did, and correct me if I made a mistake, I did not see Davius Richard on the board anywhere. The fine young quarterback out of North Carolina Central. Phenomenal year in 2022, kind of dropped off a little bit in 2023, and then that serious ankle injury he sustained at the Legacy Bowl. So I don't know if that might have been a reason why his health may be an issue, but that was an interesting factor. 21 undrafted quarterbacks. Can you believe it? Well, anyway, that's the NFL. We're going to move on to the international leagues and bring on our guest tonight. Former quarterback at Robert Morris University, former quarterback at the European League of Football, currently playing down in Mexico in that league. Please welcome our guest tonight, a fine young talent, Mr. Kenyatta Allen Jr. Kenyatta, welcome to the Post Route.
Hey, how's it going, man? Thank
Hey,
you
it's
for
all
having me.
good, man. It's all good. Thank you for joining us, man. Looking forward to having this discussion with you, man. I've been waiting because I'm like, can't wait to talk to this guy about being on two continents, playing football
Right.
in different kinds of leagues. So um, before we talk about the leagues, let's go back and talk a little bit about your career, because a lot of people are not familiar with the football teams that play in the NAIA, the National NAIA, National Association for Interscholastic Athletics. Let me get that
Correct.
correct. And the fact that a lot of the teams are not known in the general population, because a lot of the guys don't get a lot of the exposure because TV does not cover the NAIA as well as it should, or hasn't been a factor in covering it. A lot of guys go under the radar, and finding out who the schools are and finding out who the talent is kind of goes up under the radar. So let's talk a little bit about that particular league, NAIA, and your participation at Robert Morris.
Oh yeah. For me, at the end of the day, football is football, especially out in America. It's pretty competitive everywhere you go, regardless of what league you compete in when playing in the States. That's just my honest opinion.
Okay.
The uh, the NAIA was a pretty competitive league. Like you said, it is a bit under the radar. Not a whole lot of attention, but I have played against some guys and also been on teammates with guys who have gotten that opportunity. So it's definitely, I would say, it's definitely some hidden gems inside the NIA in regards to pure athletic talent and just some really good football players. So I've been fortunate enough to take that route, which is a very unordinary route in regards to like my inspirations and my dreams. But so far, so good. Everything is going well.
So Robert Morris University, where exactly is that for people to know exactly where you were playing football at collegiately?
Okay, so just to give a quick update, the football program there is not an old one, maybe a decade, years old or so. But that university is now no longer Robert Morris University. It is now officially Roosevelt University. And I
Okay.
believe they changed it within a year after I graduated. But to give you the location of the school, it's right downtown Chicago, Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. Okay. Well, that should have been some help in getting you some exposure, at least from a media perspective, because I'm sure they got newspapers and TV stations in Chicago, and I'm sure they try to be as fair as they can about coverage for all the teams in that area. So I'm sure that was a big help.
Uh, it was
Not
all
so
right.
much.
Yeah, not really so much. I mean, one thing I can say, I do love Chicago City. That was
Okay.
really my first
Okay.
time going up north and be able to experience a different climate change, especially coming from Atlanta, Georgia. But yeah, Chicago definitely one of my favorite cities. I had a great time there. I can't say that.
Well, speaking of Atlanta, when we talked about you being in Atlanta, you played at what high school again?
At Miller Grove High School in Latonia, Georgia.
Latonia, Georgia. Okay, and
Yeah.
Latonia, Georgia is starting to grow some real fine football players out there in that part of DeKalb County. And having spent 12 years of living in Atlanta, I'm familiar with that. And for those folks out there who are watching the show and watching you, knowing that you're from Latonia, um, give a big shout out to your high school, because I know those people from Southwest DeKalb gonna have something to say. So you might as well go ahead and
Yeah.
give a big shout out.
Yeah, I'm always gonna show love to my high school. The football program wasn't the greatest, but my time there was some of the best years. We was able to do some amazing high school. I mean, the beautiful thing about the Cap County, this is pretty much where Miller Grove is located. It's like 20
Right.
some high schools, maybe more. But it's like it's so much talent on each and different team. There's always a bunch of ballers out here. So it's crazy for us to have that many high schools, and each high school got like a good amount of players. It's like, all right, these guys here next level. So that's the type
Okay.
of environment that I grew up in competing against.
Well, I know there's a lot of talent in that Atlanta area, man. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's a ton of talent. As a matter of fact, the guy who won our first Built Memorial Trophy played at Langston Hughes out in Fairburn.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Langston Hughes.
Okay, Prentice Nolan was the guy. And then in 2022, there was a ninth grader who played at Carrollton High, threw for 4,100 yards and 48 touchdowns as a ninth grader.
Yeah, he a bad man.
He's a bad man. So
Yeah.
you leave Atlanta, get to Chicago. You're up there in the Windy City. Some of your teammates, what kind of places were they from? Was it a good mixture, or was a lot of guys from Illinois?
Yeah, mostly everybody from Illinois. We had a couple
Okay.
of guys. We had a couple of guys that was from like California, some of the southern states, but as a majority, most guys was from the Illinois area.
Okay. For Robert Morris then at that time, who were maybe one or two of your biggest rivals that you guys had to deal with on a year by year basis? What
Yeah,
schools were those?
so I'd probably say the top school, which was a university, they was top when I was there, was Marion University. They
Okay.
was always, yeah, they was one of the guys we are, if we wanted to go to like through the championship or through the playoffs or something like that, we always had to go through them guys. So I would say Marion University, and really, I for me it's really just that school because they're the best in our conference. So I just always feel like if we want to hit this next level or where we're gonna have to go through them. So that was my focus when playing ball there.
Well, of course, if they're the top dog, they're the top dog. There's nothing you can say about that, man. If they running things, I mean, they just all roads go
Yeah,
through them. So if you want to win, you
yeah,
got to go through them.
yeah. Luckily, I was fortunate and blessed enough. My first start at Robert Morris, game three, was against them when they were ranking number one in the nation. We upset them. So that's how I started my career off at Robert Morris. That's when everything started. Like, all right, this is a good thing.
Well, I can't think of a better way to start a college career in football by upsetting the top team that everybody's always been talking about, man. So kudos to you for that. I know you were on a
Yeah.
high that day.
Oh yeah, man. That was a great day. I mean, I went into the week feeling good. I always expected to win no matter who we playing against, and we was able to pull off that victory that day. So that was a great day, especially just to be able to start off my college football career up there at that university.
So now, when you were at Robert Morris at the time, how many different states did you guys have to travel to play? I mean, kind of give us an idea of what it was like schedule wise, where you had to go, who you had to play,
Yeah.
maybe, uh, and the weather and things like that.
Yeah. Most I'll probably say maybe half of the season were games in Illinois because there was
Okay.
other NAIA schools in Illinois that we played against. But outside of there, I know we traveled to Michigan, Indiana. Um, we also played a team in North Dakota,
Mm,
and we traveled also to Oklahoma, I believe, either
okay.
Oklahoma or Kansas, where we played against a team. But for the most part, everyone we competed against was like pretty much in the area right there, and just pretty much just being in that type of climate during football season with some crazy cold weathers, especially coming from Georgia. Yeah, so it took me to a time to adapt to that. But once I realized I could play in this weather, I realized I could play any type of weather. So I am grateful for that. It prepared me to play in all types of weather. So that
definitely,
was good for my
def-
football career.
definitely prepared you maybe to play in Europe.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So it was great. It was great.
Well, that's great, man.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take it that you had a great career at Robert Morris, man. You accomplished
Yeah.
many of your goals, and then upon leaving Robert Morris, you had some ideas on the kind of goals, not just in football. Now, I got to bring this out. This want you folks to know this guy is an academic. I call him a football scholar because not
That's right.
only has he earned this degree here in the United States, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Kenyatta, but you got your master's degree from a college in England. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
See now, how much more international do you want to be when you're talking about a scholar? I mean, what
Yeah.
what was your degree in at the for your master's in England? What was that in?
Just management, business.
Business
It was
management?
yeah, master's of science, so it was a 8 months program.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that was some. I'm not gonna lie, it was some of the hardest studies
Is
I've
that
ever
right?
encountered. Yeah, it was tough.
Well, you
All we
know,
did was write papers.
like they say, if it don't kill you, it make you stronger.
Yeah, man,
So,
that was some good stuff there.
well, you
Right.
know,
Different.
the beautiful part about, those next level degrees, both the master's and your doctorate degrees, man, is that you do have to do a lot of reading and writing. And
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think, I know for me, when I was working on my master's, it sharpened my skills for reading and for doing research, but then taking that information and concisely putting it into words that made sense. And it had to be, like when we had to do some papers, man, the professor would be like, okay, you get 2 pages to write up whatever you're going to write up. You don't have, 5, 6, 10 pages.
Right.
You got to be very concise. But I thought it made me a better person from that perspective. So yeah, I can understand writing those papers, man. But hell, I mean,
Yeah.
writing papers, man, it becomes a good thing, down the road,
Oh,
because
for
you
sure.
you get a chance to really show what you're thinking, you're processing, and things of that
Yeah.
nature. So man, I'm glad to know that's what you were in. So uh, what if you had to be an entrepreneur right now? If football was over for you and you had to go into being an entrepreneur, is that something you aspire to be, or you just want to work for a
Yeah. Yeah.
corporation?
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely desire to um operate my own business, even also real estate and all that type of stuff. So I definitely looking forward to being more entrepreneur instead of just working for corporate. I love to inspire to build my own thing up from the bottom up and then just go from there.
okay.
It's only
So
right.
so now you get to go to your how did you find out about the European League of Football? How did you even know that it was something out there like that existed? I mean, that's
Yeah.
not on the radar. How did you find out about it?
Well, I think it comes just from already being out there because the European League of Football, if I'm not mistaken, this year will be his fourth year.
Okay.
So when I was at the university in the UK, immediately after I finished my course in school there, I joined the professional league out in
Hmm.
Poland and out in Germany. This was all within the same year. And the European League of Football came upon that following year. So that's how I
Okay.
ended up hearing about it just from already being out there. But I didn't officially join that league until the third year, which was last year.
Were you surprised when you heard that American football was coming to Europe like that? I mean, that kind of shocked you. Like they bringing football here?
Nah, not really, because I had some even when I was in Robert Morris, I used to there was a couple of guys that told me that they were playing ball out there in Europe. So I kind
Okay.
of already I didn't know how big it was, anything like that, but people was kind of already telling me that football was in Europe and stuff like that. So I have like already have heard of it like prior to first going out there.
Okay.
I just never really had any like desires of like, all right, I want to go out there, or
Yeah. Sure.
or if it was
Sure.
like a goal or anything like that. That was never a goal of mine. It's just so happened and just played out that way. It just felt like it was the right thing to do. So that's really how I ended up out there.
And once you got there, was it a difficult transition? Was it difficult to deal with the different languages or the
Yeah.
people? I mean, because it's a different thing. I
Nah,
mean, you can't.
yeah. Yeah, I say nah. I think I always been a pretty adaptable person.
Great.
That's why I decided to attend school outside of Georgia when I went to college and stuff, because I didn't mind leaving my area and going somewhere different. It did take me a little time to make the decision to go out to Europe because I had never been that far. and I didn't know what to expect.
Okay.
But I ended up making the decision, and it was the best decision I ever made. So
Okay.
when I got out there, it really wasn't hard for me to adapt because I adapt to my environments. Also, I always been naturally good with dealing with people, regardless of their race or anything.
Okay.
Because one thing I do know, even though we may not speak the same language, we can feel the same energy with one another if it's good or not, and we can communicate some type of way like that. And eventually the communication we can develop from there. So that it was never really a problem with me. I never really like truly had problems like since traveling either. It's all been a blessing adapting, and I just been meeting a lot of great people along the way.
Well, that speaks volumes about the type of person you are, man, when you can make that transition and adapt and make friends, make acquaintances, network. All those things are important because being that far away from home, I mean, that's it's not like you went from Atlanta to Robert Morris. No, it's like, man, you crossed the ocean and now you over here playing a long ways away
Yeah,
from home. Did your
yeah.
parents ever get a chance to come over there and see you play?
Yeah, my oldest brother, and a
Okay,
cousin. Those three those three have come watch me to play on multiple occasions. They actually just came out here to Mexico like 2 weeks ago to see me play also.
okay,
We're working on getting my dad to come out there once we get some stuff situated, but he'll be out there. He'll be out there too, because he that's one thing about my parents. They don't miss no football games.
I
Like
hear you. I hear you.
even if they watching on the phone, like they go watching on the phone. If they can make it in person, they go be there in person. So that's also as a blessing.
Great. Now, when we talk about the league over in Europe, uh, from a couple of different perspectives, because I know a lot of times the leagues in international areas they don't have the same level of dollars, but they do compensate players in other ways. So they pay you a salary, but they also accommodate your housing and maybe your transportation and some other things. Is that the way it works over there in Europe with that league?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much to give you. Well, I know when I was out in Germany, in the country of Germany, you get paid. Everybody get paid monthly, even the regular workers.
Okay,
That's just how they pay structure work out there.
okay,
You know, yeah, it's pretty much, yeah. And then, like you said about the accommodation and all that type of stuff, the living, everything, it's basically all your expenses, like your living,
right.
transportation, food. Yeah, they pretty much cover all that stuff. So you don't necessarily have to worry about that stuff. Even your flights and all that type stuff, they cover that stuff as well.
Would you say that's a good benefit to have that you don't have to worry about it, man? I don't have to worry about no house, no rent. I don't have to worry about a car payment. I don't have to worry about any of those things. All I got to do is
Yeah,
ball.
I mean, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think the thing is with leagues out there, you don't necessarily go out there to get rich. It's more so
Right,
you
right.
there to get some good, yeah, to get some good quality film, and then just see what you can. So you basically go there to get some good quality film and build some great relationships and just see what happens from there.
Okay.
That's kind of how it's been, what I've noticed.
So did you just play with one team in Europe, or did you play with a couple of teams?
Yeah, I've been around, man. I've been around. So yeah,
You
yeah,
sound like an
to give
old
you,
veteran, man. Yeah, I've been around, man.
yeah,
Like I'm.
man. I bet it's been a lot of traveling since I graduated college. I've been on, so long story short, once I graduated from the United Kingdom, I played professional ball in Poland and in Germany in the same year. And then
Okay,
2020 was a COVID year. 2021, I played in the IFL half a season, the Indoor Football League.
okay,
In 2022, I went back out to Europe and I played in Germany in the German Football League. This is different from the European League of Football.
right.
And 2023 was the first official year that I joined the European League of Football and competed in their league. So
Okay.
I've been around a bit, and then now I'm way out here in Mexico. So I've been traveling. They know,
Well,
hey, at this point, these major football countries, they know exactly who I am.
I got you. I got you. Well, they should after all this traveling, man. They should know you
Yeah,
by heart. They hear your name. Oh yeah, we know that guy. Yeah, we know
exactly.
him. Yeah.
And plus, I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to do some great things along the way. So yeah, I'm not out here just taking this stuff lightly. Like I'm taking this stuff serious, and the work been paying off everywhere I've been.
Well, it's nothing like finding a place, man, where you can feel at home and people who come out to see you play welcome you and embrace you and make you feel appreciated and loved because that means a
Absolutely.
lot I'm sure that means a lot for a guy who's that far away from home to know that, hey man, the fans care about me and they see me walking down the street and they walk up to you and want to
Yeah.
autograph or take a picture and things like that. So it's like it's a beautiful thing. So I'm sure it's been a great experience for you to go through all that in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just a peace of mind for my parents too, because they themselves never experienced anything like this. All this stuff is new to them too. So them knowing that I'm good, want what I be where I be going and traveling and stuff. So that just and all just getting them a peace of mind also, especially being so far away from home.
Well, I know it gives your mother some peace of mind because
Man,
you know
yeah, for her for
for
sure.
sure, for sure,
Yeah.
and it's a good thing they no longer charge for the minutes on cell phones because she might be broke by now following you, man.
Man, broke.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, back
times
in the day
changing
when they
now.
were charging for minutes, oh my God! And you talking about international minutes,
That stuff
man?
add up.
Your mom be telling you to send me money for my phone bill.
I said, I know they was probably busting head back in the day, which was
Oh, no
international
doubt.
cost. Yeah,
No doubt, man. No doubt. That those minutes, man, they used to be killers. So I'm just glad they got away from that, man, because you used to get
yeah,
plans with those minutes. So well, look, I'm gonna take a quick time out, man. We're gonna come back and chop it up a little bit more when we talk about what's going on in Mexico and what you're doing down there. I know you're doing some phenomenal things. Hey, this is the Post Route. I'm your host, W.O. Kitching. Joining me tonight, an international football scholar from all the way in Germany in the European League of Football. Mr. Kenyatta Allen Jr. is our guest tonight. We're going to take a quick time out, come back and chop it up a little bit more with him when we talk about what's going on down there in Mexico. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this brief time out. Now, we got to tell you about what's going on with the book because let me tell you, this is the first book, The Forgotten QBs, the little known history, information, and statistics about black quarterbacks in American college football. Volume 1. I'm proud to say it was a great book. It did some things to help move us to where we have this TV show now and some other things that we're doing. The Built Memorial Trophy. All these things started with this book. So if you don't have your copy of what has been called a Bible about black quarterbacks, that's came from my good friend Coach McAdams up there in Washington, D.C. said, Earl, your book is like a Bible. You need to get your copy of this book. And we are working to make the next one just as insightful and definitely give you some information. I keep running across information, man, and research that's going to blow your mind. But right now, get you a copy of this book. Go to our website at quarterfiedback.com to order your book. Click on the book, Cash App to Earl, $ Earl Kitchen. Get your copy. We'll get it right back out to you. The Forgotten QBs. Then if you are from a black college and you're looking to get your gear on, let me tell you where you need to go. Go check out the folks at the Anthony Lawrence Collection, located out there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The Anthony Lawrence Collection, they are feverishly working to increase their product line and making sure that they have products for all black colleges throughout America. And they're expanding it to just colleges all around the country. The Anthony Lawrence Collection. Check them out. Click on their website at anthonylawrencecollection.com for your HBCU gear. Tell them you heard about them on the Post Route, and they'll be glad to hear from you. That's the Anthony Lawrence Collection. Check them out. Thank you so much. We're going to get back to my man, Mr. Kenyatta Allen Jr., down there in Mexico. Kenyatta, what part of Mexico are you in?
Mexico City. Very, very
Mexico
huge
City.
city. Yeah.
Mexico.
Mexico. That's right.
Mexico. Okay. And I understand it's pretty lovely down there this time of year or all the time.
I don't know all the time, but for sure right now, it's a lot of I'm right downtown in the center, so it's a lot of tourists, a lot of
Okay.
traffic, and some beautiful buildings.
Okay. So, being that you're a scholar, it gives you an opportunity to see some places, see some buildings, learn about some cultures. Um, food wise, because I know that's one of the things that come up with you guys. It's like food wise. I mean, are you pretty open to any kind of food, or you got to strictly have some American food?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm crazy open, but I also don't just say no to like trying something new. But
Gotcha.
I always been a pretty basic person when it comes to food anyway, especially if it's something I could like. I pretty much eat the same stuff. I'm pretty consistent about the stuff I eat. But here and there I do tend to like try something new to indulge into the culture just to, just to adapt and be agile, try
Okay.
some of the stuff that they like.
Great. Great. Well, are the fans pretty much into you being a football player down there?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. This out here has really been a blessing. The league has been showing a lot of love, and the fans have been showing a lot of love. So just to be able to uh, bring my God-given gift down here and be able to put on some good displays for these guys, and then for them to also appreciate the work that I've been putting in and to truly enjoy what I do, man, it's been a blessing, man. Like I really been enjoying it,
I,
especially
I would,
especially the
I would,
kids, man.
the
The kids
kids,
love it.
they
Yeah, man,
love
they
it.
love it. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
they love it.
Have they given you a nickname being down there? You got a nickname down there?
Well, they call me King. Flat 20.
Okay.
They call me Flat 20, which is like the in their culture is like the Aztec King.
Gotcha.
So that's what they
Gotcha.
like to call me. But outside of that, Flat 20 and King. So that's my
Okay.
nickname out here.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I think that's appropriate for you, man. I mean, because anybody's traveling like you and can adapt and move on and do what you're doing, man. Hey, I would
yeah,
crown you. I would
yeah.
definitely
Appreciate
crown
it.
you.
Appreciate
So
it.
let's talk a little
Try to
bit
stay
about
humble
the
though.
huh?
I said try to stay humble though. That's the main thing.
Well, that's all good, man. That's all good. Pay no attention to me. I just love this.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about this team down there in Mexico, man. So
All right.
um I went on the website for the Mexican Football League, man, and let me tell you, I have to say, I know the NFL has got some nice logos, but man, Mexico teams got some. I mean, they got some super logos. I love some of their logos, man. I mean,
Yeah.
and some of the names of the teams. I mean, the iguanas. I'm like, wow. So, what team do you play for
Yeah.
specifically?
Yeah. So my team is they're called the Mexicas.
The Mexicas. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and it's pretty much represented more of the Aztec Empire back in the day, 100 years ago. So our logo is a symbol of a eagle warrior, which is
Eagle
part
Warrior.
of the Aztec army back in the days when they were around.
Okay. Okay. Um, y'all got a mascot on the field for you guys?
Yeah, we got a mascot. He be out there doing his thing, trying to do a little bit. He be out
Now,
there. We got two mascots, as a matter of fact.
two mascots.
Yeah, we got two.
Okay. Now, when we were talking earlier, you were saying the difference between maybe Europe and Mexico is like in Europe, you only can have four American players, whereas in Mexico, you can have 16. So does that make a big difference for you?
Correct. Ah, yeah, absolutely. Not to take away from the other leagues or whatever like that, but I truly do think America, we do have the best football. So a league like here in Mexico with so many American players on top of the good Mexican players that they also have here, it just make the game here really competitive and fun. But also when I was out in Europe, it was pretty competitive there also, especially my time out in Germany.
Okay.
So
So
I'd definitely say the American situation. I think that's the biggest difference. Absolutely.
okay. So now you were also saying that these guys are really competitive and they're really into playing American football. Um, if you had to grade them talent wise, how would you grade them talent wise?
In regards to like college, if we had to,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. You talking about the Mexican guys, correct?
I'm talking about the Mexico players. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. I feel like some of these guys can really play D1 and some of them D2, D3.
Wow.
They got especially like they big boys like O line and stuff like that. They got some real big boys out here.
When you
So
say that,
that's
you know
when I
what?
look at it, I think around that.
When you say that, it reminds me of some of the guys who come from Samoa, who I've seen play college football. Man, I mean, and they they are some huge linemen. Man, you want some big linemen? Go to Samoa and find you some guys who can play football, man, because those guys are huge.
Yeah. I
So
say yeah, I say yeah, they got I say yeah, they got some big boys out there too.
yeah,
But some of these guys out here in Mexico, like they got some old linemen, they got some guys out there in the league too.
okay,
So they got some guys.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
some of them go CFL. So it's real competitive out here.
okay. Um,
Definitely competitive.
so the teams right now, you were mentioning that you guys are in the playoff hunt. Talk a little bit about you guys going into playoffs. I mean, because I know that's important till you get to the championship. Talk a little bit about the playoff situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're two more teams have to play against each other, but everybody else we just completed the regular season this past Saturday and Sunday. So the regular season is officially over. We were the team that I'm a part of. We did clinch the number two seed. I think
Okay,
it's a total of nine total teams in this league, and we
okay,
were able to clinch the number two seed. So with that, we get a first round bye straight to the semifinals. So we literally one game away from the championship. And for me, and I'm pretty sure the other guys think the same. Clinching needed that number one and number two seed was really, really important because now we just took a whole lot of stress off ourselves. We don't really have to worry about playing two games to get to the championship. To
yeah,
get to the championship, now we just one game away. So
okay.
that was a big accomplishment too, because it lets us know we just one step closer to our goal.
So what kind of numbers did you put up in Mexico in the regular season this year? Because I know some people are wanting to know, well, what kind of numbers did this guy put up? What was he doing? What kind
Yeah,
of numbers
so
did he have?
yeah, so we got a pretty interesting offense. Right now we're the number two offense in the whole league, but we also the best rushing offense. So we have our offense is it's a balanced offense because we have a real good run game, the best run game in the league, but we number three in passing. So
Okay,
because of that, that puts us at number two. So numbers wise, for me, I don't throw the ball a whole lot, but I have been really fishing right now over 600. I'm at 1,600 passing yards, 18 total TDs, two interceptions, and I'm completing 67% of my passes.
okay,
So although my numbers not really, really high, but they're very, very efficient with the offense of what we're doing. Because we a great offense, we hardly ever turn the ball over. Like I said, I have two interceptions on the whole year. So that's really been a main focus on how I playing this quarterback position to make sure we win, take care of the ball, no turnovers, and just be efficient on third downs and red zones. So
okay. Are
I've really
there
been stressing in regards to like stats and playing really good football.
Well, good for you, man. Are there some other black quarterbacks down there in Mexico that you can speak about?
I'd probably say Jeremy Johnson is out here.
Okay.
His team, they're the number one seed. They're number one, we number two. But yeah,
Okay.
Jeremy is a pretty good quarterback. He played he played ball he played ball at Arbor.
Okay.
He's a pretty good quarterback. There's
Okay.
another we have two more. We have another one, Boykin. He used to play ball at TCU. He's
Right.
out here. Their team, they doing all right. I think they right at 500, and it's another black quarterback. So I think it's really just us four, and the rest of the
Okay.
guys, either Caucasian or Mexican.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put in a shameless
So
plug for the post route.
it's a small group of us out here, but we out here though.
Well, I know y'all got that brotherhood thing going on out there, man. I know. It's like you see one another. It's like hey, man, we
Yeah,
out here
we be
together.
holding
So
it
I
down.
get it. I get it. So I'm gonna just put in a shameless plug. The
Yeah, we
next
be
time you
holding it down.
see, yeah, the next time you see him or whatever you talk to him, man, just tell them to hit us up. We love to have them on and talk to them too, man. We want to make sure we include all the brothers in our brotherhood of black quarterbacks, man. That's what we do. So you see him, let them know that we want to talk to
Yeah,
him because you have been the ambassador so far, man. From continent to continent, you are that
yeah,
guy. You are definitely our guy, man. So we're gonna be tracking you, man, and definitely gonna be keeping up with you when you get to this playoff situation, man. And man, if you get to the championship game, man, we're gonna be tracking you big time. Do they put the games on TV?
yeah. They do. Right,
Okay,
right. They streaming on their TV here, but for the family and stuff to see back home, they also stream them live on YouTube and Facebook.
we're gonna be
For the
checking you out,
championship
man.
game, I don't know what they gonna do with that, but yeah, that championship game gonna be big, though. So
Well,
we gotta get in that thing. That's gonna be big.
my son was able to get a few clips of you and put it on Instagram today to help promote you coming on the show today. So I was checking you out, man. You look pretty good running that football, man. I didn't see you truck nobody, but you look pretty good running that football.
Now I ain't your truck. I use that still for him though.
You don't use it like Derrick Henry, do you? Because Derrick, man, he puts that stiff arm on people, man. They don't want to get close to him. So, but yeah.
Hey, it's almost. It's not bad for a quarterback. I be putting him in the ground now.
Okay. All right, King. All right, King.
It's yeah,
I hear you.
yeah. You know what time it is, baby.
I hear you. I hear you. So, when you said this season is almost over, since you're about, so you play a total of how many games in Mexico for the regular season?
A total of eight regular
8 games.
season.
Okay. So now when this is
Yeah.
over,
So it's a short
when this is
season.
when this is over, do you take a little time and go home and visit your parents and your siblings and your friends? Do you go back to Atlanta?
Yeah, yeah. More than likely, I'll be heading back to Georgia.
Okay. All
So,
right.
yeah, so we'll see. The plan is to get into one of these other leagues like CFL or the UFL, see what's up. But also, in the meantime, when I get back, I'll continue to do what I've been doing, like helping out the younger quarterbacks and all that type of stuff. Just staying active and staying
Okay.
training, staying ready.
Now, so like here in Jacksonville at my high school, uh, guys who played, went away to college, went away to pros, whenever they come home, they always go up to the school, man. It's like it's a magnet. It's like it's something we have to do.
Yeah,
You kind of feel that way about your school when you
yeah,
go home. You just got to go up there and see what's going on.
yeah. It just feels like the right thing to do. Because
Okay,
I always feel like I could give some information that I wasn't provided when I was their age. So
gotcha.
I can help in regards to that gap. So I think it's important.
If you could share some wisdom with some of these young guys in high school, maybe in one or two bullet points, what would be the two most important things you would share with them based on your experience from the time you left high school to going to Robert Morris and then going into Europe and Mexico? What would you tell some guys?
I mean, I would just say, keep the main thing, like what's important and what's your dreams and goals and aspirations, especially when it comes to sports.
Yeah,
You need to be all in. I feel like you need to be all in and full focus on that. And that the party and all that fun type of stuff, you could do that after you handle the main stuff.
okay,
So, and in order to do the main stuff, it takes a whole lot of discipline and more than anything, consistency. Because
right,
stuff
right.
like this is year round. It's not really a day off. So you got to be really strong-minded individual to keep pushing forward each and every day and just separate yourself from everybody else because more than likely your friends and everybody else gonna be doing the same thing. So it takes a different type of person to separate yourself. So I try to say just focus on separating yourself and just try to just maximize the time that you got right now in regards to your the sport that you play and just making the most out of it. And then you can have fun and play on the back end. But right now it's time to have business. I mean, right now it's time to handle business.
Handle business exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think you being a young man at the age you are, and you can relate to these guys because you're removed from them, but you aren't that far removed where you can't connect to them. They need to hear from a guy like you
right.
firsthand what the real deal is in this trek to try to be a professional football player because not everybody goes to the NFL. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah,
Everybody don't go there, you know.
that's true.
And I think a lot of times these kids, when you ask some of them, well, they want to play professional football, but when you drill down a little bit and ask what their dedication is, how often are you practicing and working out and things
Right.
like that, then you separate, whether a young man is serious or not.
Yeah, man, because this especially speaking for well, I'm sure it's for any sport, any great athlete that plays sport. Man, this grinding stuff is not for everybody. It's like the training and preparation and doing it for so long. Like it take a like I said, it take a strong minded individual to keep working and working and working and working and become great. Because it ain't for everybody. And I believe that's why everybody don't make it there because that grind ain't for everybody.
Well, I will have to say this, my friend. I will attest to your grind because you are a grinder. You are a grinder to be.
Appreciate it. I get it from my parents.
Well, kudos to them because for you to step out like you have, in order to travel the way you have, in order to, be disciplined, to work the way you've worked in two different leagues, on two different continents, two different systems. I mean, hell, it's hard enough learning one system, but now you
Yeah,
go from a system to another system that may not even be closely resembled and still perform at the level you're performing and be successful. Hey man,
yeah.
you're quite a guy. You're
I
quite a guy.
appreciate it. 'Cause I'm
You know.
definitely learning new systems every year.
Well, that's what it's all about, and
Yeah,
that's why I call you a scholar because hey, you have a propensity to want to learn, and you learn well.
I appreciate it, man.
You learn and you learn well. So, hey man, I just pray, Kenyatta, that you continue to be healthy. You stay healthy first and foremost. I pray that you get an opportunity to move to the levels you are seeking, and you're successful in whatever endeavors you are wanting to do with your life, man, because I can see that you come from good stock. Your parents did a great job in raising you up, man, and you've done a good job in keeping yourself on track and handling business. So
Yeah,
I just pray that everything continues to work out for you. And we're going to stay in touch with you, man, because we want to make sure that the love that's coming from Post Route and Quarterfive Back is here for you. And whatever we can do to help you, man, we're here for you.
hey, I definitely appreciate it, man. It's definitely always a blessing to have the gift be noticed and to be able to give some type of meaningful information to any type of viewer who may be listening. So I appreciate you all very much and thank you for what you're doing.
Well, we thank you, man, and welcome to the fraternity of black quarterbacks, as we call ourselves,
Thank
man.
you, thank you. It's an honor.
Yes. So we're working so that we can, have some things to give out to our guys in the fraternity. We call ourselves Q5B when we talk about
Okay.
the fraternity Q5B. And I know some people will see that and be like, "What's a Q5B?" But hey, if you gotta ask me, you don't know. But we're working on
No,
some things.
exactly.
Yeah, we're working on some things, man. So we're gonna be getting some things out to you throughout the course of the year. So be on lookout for them, and we're gonna keep up with
Okay.
you and find out where you are. Um, our guest
Okay,
tonight,
sounds good.
our guest tonight has been Kenyatta Allen Jr., playing down there in Mexico for those strong Eagle Warriors down there and the team down there, man. And we look forward to reaching out to you soon and continued success.
Okay. Thank you so much, man. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Well, you can't ask for more than that when you're talking about a young man who's got his head on very tight, very square, knowing what he wants to do to be a international traveler playing this game of football and going from one continent to the next and playing in two different leagues, two different teams. Man, what more can you say? So I hope his opportunities will grow, that he can get a shot at the next level as he continues to craft his talents. Man, this has been a phenomenal night, and we are so happy that we had Kenyatta Allen Jr. on our show tonight, talking up his time in Europe with the European League of Football and his time down there in the Mexican League of Football. Man, some great stuff and a great young man. So keep your eyes open for him. And if you can, if you want to keep up with him, go on YouTube and keep up with the Mexican Football League down there. They're doing some great things. We want to also tell you that coming up real soon, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be looking for support from our viewers and our listeners and anyone else who has an interest in supporting us. So we're in the process of preparing to launch what will be called our teammate support. And our teammate support is a support level for quarterback back. And when you become a member or of this particular support mechanism or membership, you will get your decal, you will get your certificate, and you will get your quarterback back t-shirt, all just $44 to help us keep this show going, to help us continue to improve and do what we're doing. So we're going to launch that on next week, but we wanted to give you a preliminary view of what this is going to look like. Quarterback back. That's who we are, and that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to have two different levels. The $44 level is called teammate, and the supporter level is called supporter, and it's only $4.40. But whichever, please join us, help us out, and we'll launch this next week and give you all the details about how to get in touch with completing your membership in Quarterback Back, and we look forward to having you join us. Next week, we're going to be talking to that man who runs the Sniper School Academy of Quarterbacks. We know we had him on and we tried to get him on, but we had some technical problems a couple of weeks ago. But he so generously has agreed to come back. I'm talking about the one, the only Ray Isaac, former quarterback at Youngstown State, led the Penguins to the 1992 Division I AA championship. He's going to be back talking with us about his travels, his journey of being a black quarterback at Youngstown State, but what he's doing now with this foundation to help groom up and coming quarterbacks at all levels of all denomination. It does not matter. Ray Isaac, join us next Monday night here on the Post Route when we will bring him on. If you are not a subscriber of the Post Route, go online to YouTube and become a subscriber to the Post Route. and help us out with that. We are looking to build up our numbers, and every week we're bringing you someone different to talk to. So as you can see, subscribe, like us on YouTube. Hey, you see something you like, let us know. If you see something you hear about, you like our guests, whatever we're doing that's good, give us a thumbs up on YouTube. And you can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn under Quarter Five Back. Also, Instagram, Quarter Five Back. You can find us there. We're getting information out to you on a regular basis. Um, my guru for Instagram, my son Kemal Lazier, is doing that, and we thank him for all the efforts he's putting in and talking it up and bringing some guys into what we're doing here. So check out Instagram. You see some exciting things going on there, but we are slowly and continuously building our brand and building who we are here at the Post Route and Quarter Five Back. I can't say goodnight without letting you know how much I appreciate and I'm grateful for my producer and director, Miss Ronleen Kennedy. Thank you so very, very much for doing the behind the scenes work to make sure that this show is on YouTube each and every Monday. Also, if you get a chance, go check out our newsletter, The Post Route, on our website at quarterfiveback.com. We just released our newsletter talking about the NFL draft. We did 2 editions of that newsletter, one about the draft, one about the black quarterbacks in the 2024 NFL draft. We just want to keep you abreast of what's going on. So that's who we are here at Quarter Five Back in the Post Route. We are the fraternity of black quarterbacks. So again, we thank Mr. Kenyatta Allen Jr. for being our guest tonight. Next week, once again, the great Ray Isaac. Well, for our team here at the Post Route, we're looking forward to joining you next Monday night. Let someone else know that this show is happening and let them become a subscriber or a viewer to the Post Route. Until next Monday night, I'm your host, W. Earl Kitchings, saying, hey, go deep, go for the bomb. Take care, everybody. Have a great week.